Kal Kadosh, Boker Or, I wanted to share with you a short Dvar Torah on this week's Parashat. It says, V'yamon Moshe b'shar ha'machaneh, v'yomer mi Lashem Elay. Moshe Rabbeinu comes after the Chet Eigel and he says, to whoever's with Hashem, come to me. Who came to him? All of Bnei Levy. Rashi says, Kol Bnei Levy, mikan shekol shevet kasher. The entire shevet were all ksherim. Now we know that from all of Klal Yisrael, shevet, there was one shevet that they were 100% pure. So what does that mean? Rashi says in Devarim, Lamed Gimel Tet, Ha'omer la'aviv u'l'mo le'itiv, that when they sinned in the Eigel, they said, Mi Lashem Elay, all Bnei Levi came, and they wanted to kill, right, Aviv imo avum Yisrael, or Achiv meimo, or Ben Bito. That's what they had to do. Now you can't say it was mamash their father, right, or their brother, or their children, because if they're Shevet Levi, nobody of Levi did it, which means that the Leviim had to come, and they would have to come and kill their grandfather, right? That means basically their mother's father, because if the mother's father was not a Levi, right, obviously, so they would kill him. And they had to do that. Why? Because they had to kill anybody that served the Eigel. So it comes out from all of Shevet Levi, there was nobody that did the Chet Eigel. Now the question is, why? What caused that this Shevet, nobody did the Eigel? Out of all of Klal Yisrael, every Shevet had somebody. Every Shevet had one person. It doesn't matter who it was, but they served the Eigel. How could it be there was nobody here? So he comes and he says the Mekor is actually, right, Rashi. Rashi says on the Gemara in Yomad Daf Samech Vav Amud Bet, Amar Rav Yehuda, Shivto shel Levi v'lo avdu, right, Avodah Zarah. The Shevet Levi did not do Avodah Zarah. Shneimar v'yamon Moshe b'shar machaneh. Why? The Rambam says in Ilchot Avodah Zarah, he explains Zavot HaKadoshim, and he says like this: how is it Abraham Avinu, he recognized his creator? He went and he taught everybody to come to him. Then Yitzchak, and then Yaakov. And Yaakov Avinu taught his children. He separated Levi to be the head. And he made him to be in the yeshiva, right? To teach everybody, to watch over the mitzvot of Abraham Avinu. And he commanded his children that they shouldn't stop the Bnei Levi, right, from doing that. In order that the limud, they should always be learning Torah. So it comes out that Yaakov Avinu, he separated Levi to be a Rosh Yeshiva, and it was in order to shmor mitzvot Abraham. So he says the kavanah is that which Abraham Avinu taught to everybody, which is to believe in HaKadosh Baruch Hu and to separate from Avodah Zarah. And therefore Yaakov Avinu taught all his children, right? But he needed Levi to be barosh. Why? To be in the head? In order not to forget the limud. What does that mean? So the Mekor of Yaakov to separate Levi is actually Midrash. The Midrash says, right, as follows. The Midrash comes and the Midrash says like this. Amar Kuti Echad. Says the Kuti, there's a Bereshit Rabban Vayetze. Parashat Ayin Siman Zayin. Kuti Echad came and he said, Shal Rabbi Meir. Amar lo, En atem omrim Yaakov, right, Amiti Dichtiv. He comes and he says, Titerem El Yaakov. Are you going to say that Yaakov Avinu is truthful? You say, Titerem El Yaakov. Amar lo, of course. Amar lo, he tells him, Velo kach amar v'chol hashetel l'Yisrael Sonala. He says, you have to give him 10%, everything. Amar lehen, he says, yes. Amar lo, hifrish shivto shel Levi echad ma'asara. Do you know that he gave maaser? What was the maaser? Shevet Levi. That was 1/10. And there in the Midrash it says, Ashrecha v'ashrei umatecha she'at sharui betocha. What does that mean? Yaakov Avinu separated Levi, that he's going to be maaser, kodesh Lashem, right, from all the children. And this was Naasa b'Levi kodesh Hashem, because he was mekadesh et Hashem. So Yaakov Avinu chose him to be maaser of all the tribes. So therefore he says, why was Dafka Levi from all the Shvatim? So he says, Omnam etzel Levi, it's written, Anken kana shemo Levi. So Rashi says, kana shemo Levi, tamati. Shebekulam, it says, vatikra. She called him Levi. Here it's written, kara, his name was called Levi. So Midrash Haggadah says, Ve'ele Devarim and Rabbi, that HaKadosh Baruch Hu sent to Gabriel, and he brought him to him, ve'kara lo Shem zeh, and he gave him 24 matanot kiuna. Ve'al Shem shelivahu matanot, and the fact that he gave him, he accompanied him with presents, he was called Levi. Levi is Levaya. What's a Levaya? Levaya is to accompany a deceased person to his last final destination. So Levia, to accompany someone, when you're accompanying somebody out of your house, it's called Levia. Levi, was he accompanied him with 24 presents. So it comes out that from all the Shvatim, Hashem was the one that chose the name Levi, because he was going to be Kohen Elyon. So the name was given because of the matanot that was given to him. So now it comes out the Yaakov Avinu from the beginning separated him from all his children. So now we have to see what's going on. So he says the Pshat in the Rambam is Vevdi Levi is is that since Levy was already Kodesh to Hashem, so therefore he came and he was separated. So it comes out that already from the beginning of Am Yisrael, Levy was already separated. And that's what it means. This is the one that they knew of Hashem. And therefore, until they came out of Mitzrayim, and a lot of them, they were already doing Avodah Zarah, except for Shevet Levi, that they always stood by HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and they never served Avodah Zarah. Meaning, since in Mitzrayim, Shevet Levi were not part of the Shiabud, and they were always learning Torah. They never did Avodah Zarah. They never did Avodah Zarah. That's why they never did the Eigel as well. So it comes out according to the Rambam that since Shevet Levi did the Mitzvah Avot, that they believed in Hashem and they never did Avodah Zarah, that's why they came Shevet Levi. So now we actually have two different things. Number one, they didn't serve in Mitzrayim Avodah Zarah, and that's why it helped them for the Mitzvah Avot. So now he comes and he says, this is the Rambam. Why is it that Levi didn't get a portion into the land of Israel? This is Rambam in Ilchot Shemitah Yovel. He says, why is it that they didn't get a portion? Why don't they get a portion? So he says, rather because they were separated to serve Hashem, to write and to teach the laws of Hashem. That's why they don't go to war like everybody else. They don't get nachalot. They don't know nothing. Why? Because they are the portion of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. So when it says there, Shuvdal Levi, right? It says there, Huvdilu midarkei haolam. They're separated from the world. What does that mean? They serve HaKadosh Baruch Hu. So since they're clinging to their Creator, that's why they're already separated. So that's why he says at the beginning, the Rambam says, V'na'asit ba'olam umah, that they know Hashem, right? Except for, that's why they know Hashem. They're not going to do Avodah Zarah. And that's what's so important, right, for us to remember. We know that in Mitzrayim, they didn't do Brit Mila to themselves, except for Shevet Levi. The Rambam says, Mila ita b'Mitzrayim, shlema b'chol elelu yuchelbo, mal otam Moshe Rabbeinu, shekulam bitru Brit Mila b'Mitzrayim chutz mishevet Levi. And that's why it says, which means that the Shevet Levi were the only Shevet in all of Am Yisrael that they did Brit Milah in Mitzrayim itself. And that's why it says, they were the ones that they did the Brit Milah, right? But not anybody else. Only reason they didn't do it, that's why they had to do it again in the desert, right? When they had to do it. And that's why he says, on the Talmud, the Talmid Bet Yosef, that he says, Moshe comes and tells Shevet Levi, meaning Hashem Elay, Mi Lashem is Milah. She'eno nikar mishu chelek Hashem al yedei Milah. The Brit Milah is showing that you're a part of Hashem. And that's why Moshe Rabbeinu went and he said, Mi Lashem, the Kavanato is only the mitzvah of Milah, that the Shevet Levi were the ones that grabbed on to the mitzvah of Milah, because the Milah shows that we have a connection to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And that's why he says, V'lo odeh labesha she'asu Yisrael et ha'egel, v'lo nishtatvu sham shivto shel Levi, because he said that they stayed separate. They went and they had to actually come and kill out everybody else. And what does it mean, the lo od? Lo od means, where did they get such a strength? They got the strength because of that they were always doing Ritzon Hashem. And that's why it says like that. Ki Shevet Levi sheyum yuchadim liyot ovdei Hashem b'mishkan u'mikdash kohanim leviim. And that's why there was chal aleim avodah acheret, as it's brought down. That's why they had to carry the Aron, and they had to carry everything, because that was the shoresh sibah, because that they actually did not do the Eigel, that they did not run after the Eigel. So now we actually understand why, that since Shevet Levi were not actually subjugated in Mitzrayim, because they were subjugated to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, that's what actually came and helped them, that they were actually 100% committed to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and therefore they did not do the Avodah Zarah, they did the Brit Milah Mitzrayim, that was the Mila Hashem, Milah, right, the Brit Milah, and that's why they were actually separated, and they were able to actually serve HaKadosh Baruch Hu throughout all the generation.